G'day guys, thanks for visiting Richard's Corner. My name is Richard and today we've got a little haul reveal with items found from my friends over at the Value Villages here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Now if it's your first time visiting Richard's Corner, the aim of my channel is thrifty collecting, trying to show you how you can save collecting the thrifty way. And by that I mean I go to my favorite thrifty outlets to find these cool items and add to my awesome collection. So today I've got some really cool stuff, and I think if we take a really good close look there, you can sort of recognize a little bit of iconic Marveldom here with Wolverine, as well as some video game goodness with another Halo figure, and then in this little bundle I've got, I think, a Poe Dameron complete with his accessories. So this is a really cool find at Value Village. A lot of these things still cost about 10 or 15 bucks in stores, so this is a really, really awesome find. I spent a whole $6 in total, pardon me, and so dividing it by the cost, I think I walked out way ahead. We're going to compare this to some online pricing. I'm going to lay it on the table so that you guys can see it, and we'll take a closer look at this haul. Thanks again for tuning in to Richard's Corner, guys, and let's see what goodness we found today. So as you can see, we have everything laid out here, and I'm a little disappointed, actually, to be honest, with some of the things that I did find, because although I was very excited about the Marvel Universe figures in here, some of them actually have limbs missing, so we will get into that in a little bit. So let's start off with the haul here. We've got a lot of generic stuff up front, we've got some accessories on the left, and then we've got Poe Dameron and a cool Spartan security guard here to round out our haul. So a very big mix of cool, nothing really cute in here, but let's start off with generic stuff up front here. This guy is actually a ATV rider, and you can actually find these ATVs at Dollarama, and so, but you can remove the driver so that you can actually switch them out between the cars, or sorry, the ATVs in that series. So that's kind of neat, but that's just not something for myself. My youngest might enjoy that because he collects these, so that would be kind of a possibility for him. And then we've got all these cute little green army men, very generic for me, and made of a very light plastic, which suggests that they're not anything old or anything vintage here, just probably some dollar store or budget figures from Walmart, or even from the the party favor section, although this looks like it's part of a set, so they may be from, like, one of those little tubs of green men kind of thing. So they're cute, but just not anything for myself as far as the collection is concerned. So just moving everything back into the center of the frame here, these are the keepers. So the accessories I'll count as sort of one keeper, and then I've got 3 incomplete figures, but I'll keep them nonetheless, and 2 actual complete figures. So in total I paid $2.99 times 2 for the haul, which works out to be just under $6. And if I divide that by 6, the accessories counting as 1, and then the other 5 figures here, it works out to be just about $1 a figure, or for each keeper. So was it worth it today? Well, let's take a closer look, and you guys can help me decide. Why don't we start with the Marvel Universe figures? I have to say that the Marvel Universe figures were the reason why I picked up the one package here, but I did not know that they were missing limbs. So why don't we start with Steve Rogers here, Captain America. This one's actually a little bit more vintage. There's markings on the inside suggesting that it's made in 2009, so it's quite an old figure. And this particular figure from the Marvel Universe series is actually from series 2, so it's very, very old. These figures are just under 4 inches tall, and the original Captain America, this figure in package, pardon me, came with with a shield. Wasn't the round iconic shield that we know Captain America to have, but rather sort of a badge-like shield in the shape of kind of a half diamond. So kind of neat, though. Minus, if you sort of set aside looking at the missing limb, this is full of awesome details. You can sort of see a lot of pitting, nice texture in his torso here. Really awesome paint job with the red and white stripes. Really well done, and a heavy articulation in the head, in the shoulders, in the elbows, even in the wrists. The torso has, the chest has articulation, the waist has articulation. There's a ball joint in the hips here, in the knees, and even in the ankles. So these 3¼ inch figures are really, really primo figures. And it's unfortunate that this one is very incomplete without his foot. Although I am going to look online to sort of see whether or not I can replace the limbs with other replacement parts, because a lot of people do modifications on figures like this and often collect incomplete parts to use as parts for other figures that they modify and put together. So this figure isn't entirely unsalvageable, but it is incomplete the way it is. So the pricing below is more for a complete figure in or out of package, but I will sort of use that as sort of relative value. I did only pay basically $1 for this, so it's not a bad find. It's just too bad that it's missing his 1 foot there. Nonetheless, it is a 2009 Marvel Universe Series 2 Captain America from this haul today. Pretty awesome. Now these two Wolverines are really, really cool. One is kind of an old school Wolverine, and this one has a newer school version, which with the X-Men logo on his belt. I'm not sure if this is entirely a Marvel Universe figure, but I know that this one is, or maybe vice versa. The reason why I'm sort of doubting the which one is which is because this one has a really shiny finish and this one has more of a matte finish like the Captain America, which suggests that this is the actual Marvel Universe figure, and this one may be from a competing toy line. Regardless of that, I couldn't find an exact listing for this guy. I did find a listing for him, and it toots it as being a Marvel Universe figure, so I'm going to call it that. But if you happen to know the difference between these two, please let me know in a comment below. Setting aside that he's missing his hands and claws, again, this has the same kind of articulation as Captain America here. So he's missing his wrist, obviously, but he's got all those points of articulation in this figure, and unbelievable muscle detail here. Look at that. I mean, I have to, like, we should, like, they didn't emphasize it as much in the Series 2 here, but in this, like Wolverine is just completely buffed up. I mean, like, wow. He's got awesome abs and pecs here. He's got great quads, like the hamstrings, the calves, everything looks so awesome. The back, that is just crazy detail for muscle tone. Oh my gosh, it reminds me of the John Cena figure that I hauled in my last haul reveal, but just the amount of muscle detail really, really accentuates the comic character and really brings it to life as an action figure, which really brings some appeal personally to me, because you know, it's one thing to sort of read and imagine what these characters are like. It's another thing to sort of hold something tangible and really sort of get a feel for the character. I really feel that this line of toy captures Wolverine really well. Even if it is missing arms, this is a really cool find. So if I look at the more modern one, this one with the X-Men belt here, notice the slightly different color scheme. Instead of the black and yellow, this one has sort of a darker blue, and this one a little bit more of a, you can sort of see the definition is defined a little bit differently. Although this one has a lot of really clear muscle detail, the muscle detail is accentuated with some extra inking and shading inside the muscle tendons here, which is really brings out again another really awesome depiction. This one's missing a foot, which is really unfortunate. So these ones at face value, like, they're not worth a lot the way they are, but again, I am going to look online and see whether or not there are replacement parts that you can buy to sort of complete them, and then heck, I'll have some really awesome figures. So nonetheless, these are really good finds for me. Not bad for $1. I mean, I can probably still display them and still really enjoy them. Some really cool Wolverine figures from the Marvel Universe series to add to my collection for sure. Now, this bundle of stuff that I have in my hand, it seems like a mishmash of things, and it is kind of odd. They are actually accessories that were sold with 3¼ inch figures from Star Wars Force Awakens, but these accessories, ironically enough, don't belong to Poe Dameron's figure. I believe some of these belong to Finn and or different stormtroopers and stuff like that. They basically just sort of slip over top of the 3¼ inch figure and adds a little bit of bulk and variety. I think this, you see, this is a Stormtrooper one, you can see there, right? So they just sort of slip over, and it does add a little bit of cool dimension. I think I might try to pull out one of my Stormtroopers and see if this fits on there. But yeah, so it's some interesting stuff. I mean, I don't know what this is. This is kind of odd. And then we've got a nice blast shield here, and then a really cool gun of some sort. That's kind of neat. And yeah, so I mean, like, these are really interesting. I'm not even sure if that's really a Star Wars thing. So I don't know about that one. But these accessories are kind of cool. I mean, like, sometimes they are sought after for collectors because some people are missing these accessories. These are brand new, though. Like, these are newer ones, so they're mass produced. They aren't going to be hard to find. But I mean, somebody may want to complete their figures, so they may end up in the Overflow Marketplace. But for myself, that's kind of neat to just have some of the accessories from these Force Awakens line. Speaking of which, we have this awesome Poe Dameron. Now, this one was released in 2015 from Force Awakens, the first of the newer Star Wars movies, and this is Poe with his visor down. It does not move, and this is more of a 5-point articulation figure versus the Marvel Universe one. So there's articulation in the shoulder, the arms are fixed, no wrist articulation, the head does move, and then we've got the legs moving independently. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of articulation. You can sort of just take a look how the awesome depiction of Poe here with his jumpsuit here, the awesome Rebellion logo printed really clearly, and then the nice embellishments for capturing his costume here, and really nice that they molded in these awesome wrinkles into the suit to make it look more realistic. And he doesn't look too overly buff. I mean, he looks like he's in shape, looks like a real good pilot. Awesome expression on his face there, and I love this golden visor. Even though you can't see his face, it just reminds me of like even just the Halo figures. They're just really cool. Look at that. If you notice that nice subtle detail texturing inside the main shirt there, and really nice bumps over here. Really, like, it just overall awesome figure. I believe these are done by Hasbro, and yeah, they just released some really awesome figures to capture the likenesses of the new characters when they were released, when Force Awakens was released. So a nice 2015 figure, Poe Dameron from Force Awakens by Hasbro, one of the regular carded figures. An awesome addition to my Star Wars collection for sure. Now, this guy really deceived me at first, because at first glance it really does look like a Halo figure. However, I couldn't determine what the heck this was until I stumbled upon the Spartans from Halo 5, and they suspiciously had this very similar visor. And upon closer inspection and a little bit more digging and looking for this olive green color, it is actually a Halo 3 security Spartan soldier. So this is actually a McFarlane figure. It's 6 inches tall, and this is the Primo Chase figure that makes up for everything here. I paid $6 for this, and $6 for the entire haul. Works out to be $1 a figure altogether. And as you can see by the pricing below here, a very sought after figure, complete or not complete. It's really awesome. So these guys I can stare at forever. The McFarlane figures are heavy on the detail and on articulation. Articulation in the head, in the waist here, in the elbows, shoulders, wrists, the legs, the knees, and even the toes and the feet. So this is a highly posable figure, and it's and he has shoulder pads that actually pop off here, but I'm going to put that back on for you there. So it's overall like just an amazing figure. If you look at it up close here, you can sort of just see the amount of detail that they go into putting into these figures. I mean, look at that. That is just crazy amount of detail. I love how, see, and now this is what I mean by inking, adding that little bit of extra ink inside of there to accentuate those extra lines that they've purposefully put into the molds, right? That really gives it that awesome tech look for the figure. Just a really awesome amount of embellishments here. The light really captures all the awesome detail. So in plain light you wouldn't see that, but I mean, look at that. There's panels, implying the flexibility of the armor, even if it is fully not invulnerable, but like, protective. Look at that, really nice inking in there, and just like even in the boots, like that's just an amazing amount of detail. Look at that. Whew. Yeah, these guys make me crazy. Like as a collector for display, this is like some of the best figures I've ever seen. So I'm really fortunate to find them. And yeah, like McFarlane just makes awesome toys. If you haven't seen it already, I have a collection highlight video of all these awesome Spawn figures, most of them that were donated by a really cool viewer that had said that you know, they were just sitting there, he couldn't sell them, so he just sort of donated them to my channel for content, and it was just an awesome it was an awesome video. So please check that out in the card above there. But I'm going to make another video highlighting my Halo figures, because I've accumulated quite a few of these, both from my thrifty runs as well as garage sales. So anyway, enough of the plug. I hope that you really enjoyed this. This is just a wonderful 6-inch Halo 3 figure, a security Spartan soldier from the McFarlane series, to end off my haul today. So cool. So this is Richard from Richard's Corner signing off for now, and I so appreciate you visiting today. This is a kind of a different haul today because it's kind of weird to show incomplete figures, but I had no idea that they were incomplete until I opened them up. So I hope you still enjoyed taking a really close look at some of these figures and appreciating some of the detail that some of these manufacturers go into making these awesome collectibles for us. But obviously in retail stores and even in flea markets and such, they do demand a premium. So I hope you can sort of be encouraged that sometimes you can just get really lucky and find some of these awesome collectible like figures in thrifty avenues of purchase. So I hope you enjoyed this haul today. I wish you happy hunting and happy collecting, and I hope that all of your finds, thrifty or otherwise, are equally awesome. I hope you'll hit like and or subscribe so that you stay in touch with Richard's Corner, so you know what is new and happening here on this channel. And please also consider hitting that little bell icon so that you are instantly notified when something new has been uploaded. Oh, and please stay tuned. At the end of this video, I've got a brand new end screen that I've been experimenting with. I hope that it helps you find more interesting content on this channel, and it sort of gives my my videos a new polished look. So my journey here on YouTube continues to evolve and grow thanks to you guys, because all these content creators are creating so many cool things, and I'm trying to keep up desperately. So I hope you appreciate the work that we're putting into this, and that you enjoy the video at the end. Anyway, Richard from Richard's Corner signing off for now. We will see you next time. Thanks again for visiting Richard's Corner.